What's up, everybody? This week's episode is quite a roller coaster. We wanted to put this little intro together, trying something new here, because we wanted to give you a little more insight on what you'll be getting into this week. We talk a little bit about pickleball, fastest growing sport in the world, my new favorite hobby. We talk about the NPC live streams that are taking TikTok by storm. Is it good for us? Is it bad for us? Is humanity doomed? We'll see. And then we talk about this incredible news that aliens are definitely real. Like, we're slowly finding out that aliens definitely are real. So thank you for embarking on this journey with us this week, and enjoy the show.
I don't remember being I think in Phoenix we actually set the record for most consecutive days over 110 degrees. Like, nutty. Like, every day it gets between 115 and 119.
Well, before the world ends and we all burn alive, welcome everybody to episode 6.
6, that's right.
Episode 6, baby.
The haters are shook right now. The haters are sick to their
shaking
stomach.
in their boots, baby.
Dude, for real. Oh my God, I love it. I love it.
I would say that the ride so far, the journey so far has been incredible. Again, we always just like to start with a warm welcome and honestly a thank you, like genuinely from the bottom of my heart. We've had as it's starting to pick up steam a little bit and it's like slowly climbing the charts, just more and more people reaching out, like saying what's up, saying they see it, saying they appreciate us. We save their life with advice. Like, that just feels good. So we won't stick on to that too much. Welcome everybody to episode 6 of the Neon Sage podcast. We always like to start off with just a little weekly wrap up, bro. What you been up to since we last talked?
This week, it's gone by fast in a good way. I've been playing a lot of pickleball, which I saw an article. It said, can pickleball solve the male loneliness epidemic? It can. If you're a man out there and you need some purpose, you need something to do, you need a hobby, you need to be social, you need to get active, go pick up that pickleball paddle and get on those courts, brother. There's women out there. There's other men out there. It's a great time. People of all ages are out there. For real.
Hearing you say this, it just makes me so emotionally horny. I can't even I don't want to say seasoned, right? Because pickleball's a new sport, right? For most people. I've been playing about a year now, a little under a year. The amount of times I tried to convince my friends and a lot of people yo, just go out and try it. Go out and try it. And you're playing now, my brother's playing now. It just is so good to have, to get more people into the sport.
Oh, dude, it really is, though.
It's amazing.
It's amazing because I play 2 to 3 times a week with my family, right? Like, before, there was no activity for us to all do that was active. Now we have something that we can do all together on an active, cool basis. It's so cool.
The best, bro. I actually played in a pickleball tournament this weekend since we last recorded.
So actually, tell me, don't just give me the summary. Actually walk me through what the fuck happened in this tournament.
Okay. So there's a company called Food Beast. We'll tag them. They're a super awesome company. They're like a food company. They're sick. Okay. They hosted a 16-man ladder tournament. So they had 16 people join, friends, people that work in the industry, whatever. They had 16 people join, and it's a ladder tournament. So you get randomly assigned a number, and it was dope because they actually had a cooler full of pickles, and you picked out your pickle, and whatever number was on the pickle, that's what court you started on.
I love that.
So then when you play...
What number did you pick?
I ended up getting number 6. And the guy I got matched up with, I've actually had played before, and he's super cool. Drew, I love this guy. And the way it works is it's ladder style. So if you win, you move up. If you lose, you move down. So there's 4 courts, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you win, you move up towards the King's Court. If you lose, you move down. So it was a 2-hour tournament. I'm not going to name drop, but there's some big people there playing. And
Ben Johns?
Close.
Okay.
Very close, actually. Which he's a friend of the podcast, by the way. We should get him on here now that we're talking.
He was going to actually be on this episode, but it just...
I didn't win the tournament. That's why he's not here.
Yeah, and he doesn't really know how to work a webcam, so he was having struggles, just trying to even get connected to something like this.
Bro only knows how to do one thing, and that is hit a pickleball.
Exactly.
Let's hit a pickleball. So I lost my first 2 games. Then I won 4 straight. So I went from the last court all the way up to King's Court. And I choked. Absolutely choked.
How'd you choke?
The game before the final match, I just I don't know, dude. I got nervous. I was playing with 2 guys that I've played with before that are like pretty solid dudes. And they just picked on me because the person I got partnered up with is like sick. And they just picked on me and I just choked. We ended up losing like 11-9, 11-7. Like it was a close game. Lost that game, so I went to the second court. So the best that I could finish would have been like 3rd or 4th, and just completely choked again. And so I finished like middle of the road. I finished like out of 16 people, I think I finished like 7th.
So in hindsight, if you could rehab some of those moments, what do you think caused you to choke, in your words?
Well, this is gonna sound lame, but I've been playing pickleball exclusively pretty much with new people the last like probably month and a half. Like my wife, my sister, my brother. We played with him for the first time.
Dulls the senses.
100%. Like you just form bad habits. You're not playing against people that you're used to playing with. So like I am stoked. I definitely held my own for playing with this caliber of player for the first time in like realistically probably 2 months. Especially being gone for 2 weeks, like when we went to Anime Expo and then going to Vegas, like I definitely held my own because I played again on Tuesday with 2 of the guys that were in the tournament, actually the winner of the tournament and like a guy that placed like 3rd, and we won. Like I won 4 of the 6 games. So like I should have practiced more and I should have like played at that speed more. I just didn't have an opportunity to,
and I'll defend you. I'll defend you on that. I think that's absolutely real and valid. Even playing with some of my family members I'm able to play at a faster pace than with some of the others. I'm not going to say their names. And even in that,
sorry, Grandma.
Yeah, in that for real, in that microcosm of an exchange, I find myself literally developing like a bad habit for a game.
Exactly.
And so if you haven't been playing with people that, because like you know how it is, like, and I'm still an absolute novice in pickleball, but that speed of the game when you're able to play in front of the kitchen with people and you're just like hitting it back and forth and the ball's not even, it's like that. If you're not getting in those situations, you're not going to be ready for when they pop up in real life.
For real.
Well,
so that was it. I mean, pickleball tournament. I played pickleball a couple hours on like Tuesday night. I played late Tuesday night. Other than that, dude, just been grinding.
Dude, if I lived in Irvine with you, if just my brother Hunter, my brother Aiden, he likes to play a lot too, and then Alex, dude, if we all lived out there, we would have like an endless amount of people to play pickleball with. Like it would be kind of like almost not a good thing because we'd be playing too much pickleball.
And I would be walking around just fully torqued 24 hours a day, just knowing that you and I could be playing pickleball together at any moment, that I wouldn't get anything done. No,
really though, because it's like you get to the end of the day and you're like, I could watch anime, I could do this, do that, or I could just get a quick 2-3 hours of pickleball in.
Dude, and we found these secret courts next to our house that is walking distance. And so now, like, literally yesterday, like, my wife and sister went and played for a couple hours.
I saw Lena's story.
Yeah, dude. So, yeah, I would just be so torqued all the time that I would come home and Lena would be like, please, not again. Like, don't make me do it. Like, I would just be ready to go all the time.
Fuck, yeah, I love that, dude.
Yeah, dude, so.
There was one thing that I did this weekend that I wanted to tell you. At Anime Expo, do you remember when that kind Japanese man pulled me into his booth and had me fill out stuff for like the free classes of Japanese?
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, I had my first Japanese lesson on Sunday.
Let's go, dude.
And it was with Katayama Sensei, that's her name. And straight up in Japan, in Tokyo. Like it was so kind of surreal being in a Zoom room with someone who's like,
I mean, you're pretty much in Tokyo at that point.
Kinda, dude. Like I'm in a Zoom room with a Japanese woman. She's a Japanese teacher. Like, and it's just like, holy shit. And like, it was Sunday evening for me, so it was Monday morning for them. And so I'm like, damn, like this woman, she left her house, she went to work, and like I was one of the people she had to like
clocked in and saw your face.
Saw my face. But it was really cool. She was super nice, and the way that they kind of made the first session go was just I had to like learn how to introduce myself and say what country I'm from, and then say like what my job is. And so I had to learn a bunch of different names of different countries in Japanese, and then I had to learn how to say a bunch of different like jobs titles. Like there's not that many, but one thing I found interesting was in Japanese, like how do you say America? It's America. Like that's all it is. How do you say France? It's France. That's all it is. It's fun. It's like they just literally like
phonetically
turn it into Japanese. Like I thought that was kind of pretty funny. But it was cool, man. I've retained everything she taught me, and then I have another lesson with her on Monday. So
it's so fun. Dope. Actually, I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah, it's fun to just learn something new, man. You know what I mean? Like my brain definitely liked it because it's like, damn, I listen to so much Japanese and anime, so it's cool to finally put some of it to the test. And she was like shook at my Japanese accent, because I like troll a lot by myself, and I'll like try and like copy what they say in the show to myself. And there was one time when I said something, I said the name of so Korea in Japanese is called Kankoku, like Kankoku, Kankoku, like that. And when I said it, she stopped. She was like, "Have you ever studied Japanese before?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "You're saying that exactly right, like a Japanese person." And then I was like, oh. And then she was like, yeah, that's weird. It's because I told her that Spanish actually is a lot like Japanese. And so I told her that I've found it easy to talk in Japanese because it's so similar to Spanish. So many E's, os, as, es, like things like that.
Yeah.
So it was funny, dude.
The only reason I know the Japanese translation for Korea is because of the King Vong song. Guys got some top from the stripper bitch. She from Kankoku.
Yeah. Oh my God.
No, I'm just kidding. It's a different neighborhood.
Yeah, right. I got some top from some stripper bitch. She from
Kankakee.
Kankakee, yeah, exactly.
I tried learning Arabic to impress my in-laws, and I spent probably a solid 6 hours one day just like repeating like the basic stuff, like hello, like my name is. Totally different dialect than the Arabic they speak, and they were just like, what the fuck are you saying?
Yeah.
So that's and it's funny because I brought it up to Lena's cousin, her oldest cousin, who speaks Arabic fluently, and he's like, yeah, dude, when I was learning, I learned the wrong Arabic like 3 times. Like there's just so many different dialects because it's such an old language that like it's like learning Spanish here and then going down to Nicaragua, you know? Like
or going to Spain or
exactly
even different parts of Spain.
Exactly.
Not the same.
So it was such a waste of time, and I just look like such an idiot because I'm saying things and they're like, what the fuck is this guy saying?
That's funny.
Yeah.
You should.
I made an attempt though.
Would you make another attempt eventually?
Oh, for sure. It just the problem is like the Arabic that my girl's parents and her family speaks. It's like, they're Chaldean. I don't know I don't know where to like learn that Arabic. Like everywhere I've looked, it's like different. You know, like if you look up Arabic translation of something, there's like 400 different ways to say the same word, and each area uses a different one, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm sure you could probably pinpoint somebody to teach it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
for sure.
This one CIA agent, he said that when you learn a new language, what you want to do is you want to like learn certain like phrases and sayings that would allow you to get by, and then like just start adding things in to your vocabulary, because that's how a child is, right? The child eventually says, "Mama, I want to go want to potty." Like the baby just like learns like a phrase, and then the baby kind of like builds off of that. And so I thought that was an interesting way to look at it, and it makes it way less intimidating. Where you're like, okay, I'm gonna learn how to introduce myself. I'm gonna get really good at that, and then I'm gonna learn how to like ask for an item, and then I'm just gonna learn about asking for different items. Then I'll learn how to ask somebody how they're doing. And then I'll learn how to tell somebody how I'm doing, like whatever it is. So
if you're ever traveling at all, I forgot I was telling this too. Wherever you're going, learn how to say please, learn how to say thank you, and learn how to say sorry. If you if you're going to go to any country, especially as like a big stupid American, learn those 3 words and like you learn everything else along the way. You know what I mean? But just make sure that you could say please and you can say sorry. Like when you're like, inevitably doing something, totally not your fault, but you're just inevitably doing something that's so against how they do things. You can be like, oh, my bad, dude. My bad.
Yeah. Absolutely. In Italy, what is buongiorno? Hello?
No, yeah, buongiorno is hello.
Buongiorno. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then grazie. Spiacente?
Grazie is thank you.
I think spiacente is like actually like my apologies. We'd have to look that up.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah, no, I would agree with you.
No,
especially
in
other Asian countries too, where they're way more socially polite and they're very conscientious of how they're affecting their surroundings all the time. And as a Westerner, it can be really just easy to forget that we're way more free than they are over there, and you could be offensive on accident and be making people feel uncomfortable on accident.
Yeah, 100%. Also, it's totally not spiacente. I made that word up. It's like scusi or scusa, right?
Like excuse me.
Excuse me, I guess.
Yeah, I can see that. In Japan, the way to say excuse me is like sumimasen. That means shit, like my bad. You know what I mean? And then
it translates literally to
gomende is like I'm sorry though. Like gomende, I could mean I'm fucking sorry, bro.
Dude, if we run out of money from podcasting, you might be able to mess around and become a voice actor.
What if I became a Japanese voice actor?
I mean, how sick would that be, dude?
It would be pretty sick. And I actually went to what would you call it? It was a panel at a anime convention of an English voice actor. He's the guy who plays Denji actually in the Chainsaw Man dub. And he explained his whole life story on how he got there, and it really blew my mind how much shit these guys have to eat before they finally get a good role. It really...
Oh, really?
Oh my god, dude, it's so competitive. It's so competitive. There's not that many good jobs, and you just have to keep on chugging away until one day you kind of crack through. And you have to do so many auditions and so much bullshit work. I've thought about it though. I've thought about becoming a voice actor. I think it would be kind of fun.
Yeah, I hate my voice, but the same guy.
I think you have a cool voice. I
appreciate that.
But I'm not saying that to say it, bro. I'm
not.
No,
I appreciate that, but
I'm really not. I think you have a good voice.
I mean, one guy did all the Looney Tunes, right? And one woman did SpongeBob and Bart Simpson. Once you're in, dude.
You're two in. The guy who plays Vegeta plays Piccolo. Plays the lead mentor in My Hero Academia. Plays the lead mentor in Black Clover. Fucking it just plays Zoro in One Piece. Too many people, bruh. Damn.
Yeah. 100%.
It's ridiculous. So there's actually something that I really want you to show me that I've seen on the internet.
Oh.
That is so ridiculous. I'm gonna hold my response until after we watch this video together.
Yeah, I'm excited because the few times I've tried to watch this, about 10 seconds in, I just have this overwhelming urge to unalive myself. So I'm excited for you to see this because maybe we'll do something on camera. We should.
Yeah, strong woman. Ooh, ice cream so good. Yes. Yes. Grind. Oh, thank you, baby. This is so cute. Ooh, fire. Oh, yes. Yeah, strong woman. Yes, strong woman. Yes, strong woman. Oh, thank you, baby. I love you. Meow. Juliana, money gun. I got your name. Wow, a lot of gift for you. Gang. Yes, strong woman. Gang. Ooh, meow. Yes, strong woman. Gang. Yes, strong woman.
So what this is they call it NPC Live. So essentially what it is the person who's doing the live has a certain reaction to a certain gift that they're given on TikTok. So every time they get a cowboy hat, they say yeehaw, right? So essentially what it is you're controlling this person. That's what I'm guessing is the allure to this fucking tomfoolery.
Yeah, that makes that makes complete sense. It's like a straight, like this is definitely what I would consider in the realm of fetish content. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, I would say if you ever anything that has to do with like a virtual control of something or somebody, probably would say is a fetish. I guess.
It's pretty weird, right? Like here's the thing. There's a lot of actually things to think about this. One is that I saw her do it, right? And then I've seen a lot of other people do it as well. So I wonder who originated it. One, I wonder how long it's already been around. Mm-hmm. 3, it's very popular, apparently. Like, people are sitting in these lives, and it's becoming, like, viral content. So there's an appetite for it, which is,
crazy.
Like, who's the this is my fear what the appetite is. It's a bunch of doomers. In the sense of doomers, I mean a bunch of people that just don't have a lot going for themselves in life. They spend way too much time online, inside, not talking to people, and that's not how humans should live. And they're just like, this is just so new that it's like, oh yeah, I'll watch this. Yeah, I'll send the emojis, control this woman. They're just like watching. It's like, and obviously she's showing cleavage. Like, this isn't like not sexual.
So she's a. I think her like full-time gig is OnlyFans.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
That would make sense. I mean, she should do an OnlyFans live where different emojis make her do different things to herself. That would probably go harder.
Well, it definitely would go harder.
It would go way harder.
It'd probably be wetter and harder and longer.
Harder and hotter and juicier.
But would she make as much money? Because, like, dude, she has shown up on my Explore page more times than I want to admit. Like, this girl specifically. And then I get a few, randos.
I knew she made it when she was in that meme of people that were pretending to be in Oppenheimer. This shit's way too long, bro. And they have their phone out and they're watching her live stream in the 100%. Theater.
The funniest one I've seen is this guy. He's screaming off camera. He's like, I go to work every day to provide for this family, and this is how you treat me? And he turns back to the camera. He's like, yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Gang, yeah. Gang, gang, gang.
Yep.
I mean, even Ethan Klein did it live on his stream.
Really? He did?
He went live, and then, he was saying some crazy stuff. But so, dude, I mean, we don't need to be on this for too long because I think it's too easy. It's just too insane. But this feels damaging. Like, this feels like the fact that there is a system, not that I don't want to speak in some conspiracy theories, but the fact that there is a platform in place that you can open up your phone and you can essentially just do immediate reactionary content to a picture, a GIF that comes across your screen, and you're getting paid like buku money I don't think that we're on the right track.
I think it's yet another example that we are sustaining a deep level of like what I call like societal brain rot, where we're like our brains are so fried from all the dopamine we shove into it from doom scrolling on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube all fucking day that like we just start looking for something new. Like, it's like, oh, this is new and different. I'll watch this now. It's like, fuck, man. Like, people got to have more purpose. Like, you should be too busy doing other things that are just more intentional than watching that. And if you're in, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like that girl's doing it, but she's getting an audience. Like, that's the issue. It's like, damn, like if my kid was watching that my kid could just see it and watch it. That's fine. But like, if my kid was like, "Oh, she's streaming. I need to watch." Cowboy hat, cowboy hat, cowboy hat.
Can you imagine your kid's first words are like, "Yes, yes, 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 yes," and like your kid doesn't speak any actual words or understand the English language. He's just like, "Gang, gang, 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 gang."
Yeah. Oh my god, bro. It is creepy. It literally seems like a scene out of like a dystopic future like movie or a Black Mirror episode where that is like a high profile like job to have, is being like an NPC remote person on a stream.
Well, dude, what I worry about is like, they have these like social media sweatshops overseas, right?
Dude.
And they probably have thousands of women right now in a warehouse with a screen and a ring light.
Tiny cubicle, just barely small enough.
Yeah, and they're like fucking whoosh. She's like, yes. Like, that's not funny. I shouldn't have done that. But
no, but what's crazy is that those things exist, bro.
Those 100% exist. You've seen them where they're like out on the streets in like Asian countries, and they're like one influencer, TikToker after another, and they just have a backdrop, and it's just phone after phone, and they're just doing whatever they do on live. Now it's even easier. Now it's just like, okay, all you have to do, you don't have to be funny. You don't have to be even good looking or do anything. I'm not saying that this girl's not good looking, right? I'm just saying like in general,
Yeah.
the only thing you have to do is whatever pops up on the screen, say this. Whatever pops up on the screen, say this. Ooh, Rose, thank you for the flower. Thank you for the flower. Thank you for the flower. Thank you for the like. Dude, these people are going to be absolutely abused, dude. If this is an income stream, oh my God. If you thought people were getting rich like managing OnlyFans girls, imagine you run a warehouse with 100 yes.
You bring up a good point. Like, where does this start and end as a society?
Yeah, I mean, if
Does
the barrier,
this just get worse?
Oh, of course it is. Of course it does. If the barrier to entry is just open up the app, go on live, and do whatever anyone tells you, whew.
I would, if we lived in the same state, I would do it for the podcast where me and you go live together and we do that together on live. And just to see for 30 minutes, just to see how ridiculous it is. And then just give it to the
I
people.
will say one small piece of credit, and then we can move on from this. She's definitely grinding. I mean, like, this chick is always on TikTok. Like, and dude, imagine just nonstop talking for 8 hours. Yes. Like, I mean, she's earning her paycheck for sure.
Right? Like, and what does that do to her brain? Like, after like a 4-hour session of sitting down just doing that, like, does your brain start to change?
Well, now she logs off of this, and now she's got to go film a scene for OnlyFans. Like, I'd be curious to see what this girl's brain looks like, like chemically.
I would like to see what her bedroom looks like in the sense of like, is it like a hot mess? Like, is she doing well? Like, that's like, so that comes to my mind a lot. What does this person's bedroom look like?
She has a line.
The bedroom is like your brain, like expanded out of your mind, kind of.
Yeah. Well, until you get married. Once you live with someone, it's
correct.
Like,
correct.
My bedroom is the inside of my wife's brain.
Yes.
This is the inside of my brain. Her bedroom has a line down the middle, and one is like shining light, and it's like the TikTok live. Yes. And then the other is like this dark. It's like, okay, OnlyFans time. Like, as soon as you cross the line across the bedroom, just we're demon
completely
time.
different person. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just demons are us, bro.
Jeez, bro. Yeah, that is. I don't know how to really feel about that. It's very strange, man. It's very, very strange.
It's interesting, but there is something, and I'm not trying to make a cheesy transition here. There is something even more strange going on, and I have like purposefully kind of stayed away from it because I know how interesting it is to you, and I know you want to talk about it.
Yeah. So, to everyone that doesn't already know, I am very interested naturally ever since I was a child in the occult, the conspiracies, just like the what ifs of the world. And obviously UFOs, aliens is a huge one. Like, that one has always captured my attention. I've looked into it pretty heavily. When Ancient Aliens came out back on like the History Channel back in the day, I was fucking mind blown. Like, I'm like in this shit. Like, I look into it pretty often. Something very, very powerful and relevant to every single one of us actually happened this week, where David Grush, or David Grush, however you pronounce it, he's a former intelligence officer. He spent 14 years in the Air Force, National Guard, and most recently the Geospatial Intelligence Agency. And he went in front of Congress and testified under oath about a bunch of crazy whistleblowing stuff regarding information that he and his colleagues have been exposed to either firsthand or secondhand through talking to other people about these unidentified aerial phenomenon, like us having like the actual ships, us having the biological evidence of the pilots of these ships, like so much details. And it's all just been hidden from us. And so it brings up a question where, if this is all true, do we as civilians deserve the right to know about this? Because it kind of changes what our life means as humans a little bit. Like a little bit.
Well, not a little bit, a lot of it.
Right? I agree with that. I was just saying at least a little bit.
Yeah, so, I mean, fill me in, bro, because so he came out and he said aliens are real, which a lot of people have said before.
Yeah.
What about this dude? Because you know me, and hopefully people listen know me by now. I am as skeptical as it gets. Like, truly skeptical. And not just like tinfoil hat wearing skeptical where, like, you know, anything the government says is fake. But, like, I'm, like, truly skeptical. Like, I need to be convinced. Why should I believe this guy?
I would say what's interesting about this guy is that he's going through all of the legal procedures to do this the right way. And he, by testifying under oath in front of Congress, is risking everything. So,
well, what is everything? His life?
I mean, if he's found lying, he's going to go to jail. He's going to, like, you know what I mean? Like, his whole reputation, his whole career that he's built up in the Air Force, the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, all that stuff, it's all ruined. It's all taken away from him because he's fucking doing what they said to not do. Now, luckily for him, it seems like he has a lot of people that are going to be willing to step forward, and he's just the one who's being kind of the maverick to, like, bust open the doors on this, because this has never happened. We've never had an official whistleblower testifying in front of Congress about this amount of information. So to give you some more inside scoop of who this guy was, so he was the agency co-lead for the unidentifiable anonymous phenomena and transmedium object analysis. And these people were that group, that agency was responsible with giving the president a daily briefing regarding what they were understanding and all that kind of shit.
Which president?
So just whoever the standing president is, he was on this from 2019 till 2023.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah.
So just Trump and Obama.
Trump and Biden so far.
I mean, sorry, Trump and Biden.
Yeah, and so, and also directly reporting to the UAP task force, which is the Identified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force. Then he became a whistleblower through a PPD urgent concerning filing in May of 2022. So I guess on their end, when they like do this, there's like legitimate official ways how you like become a whistleblower, where you go through the process, and I'm sure it's like a very legal binding. I'm sure it just is a process, whatever it is. I'm not an intelligence officer. I've never done this before. And the reason why he did this is because following concerning reports from multiple officials with and no longer with military and intelligence like communities like that he worked with, they have determined that the U.S. government is operating above congressional oversight in secrecy. And so on their end, it's like, you guys are doing things that are not in your legal power to do in terms of like hiding this information. And so that's where that's why he's testifying in front of Congress, and he's calling them to investigate further and to talk to all these people. And so he's testifying in front of Congress, and they're all asking him different questions. Like, okay, well, where are these ships? And he's like, I can tell you exactly where. I'm not going to do this in front of everyone, but I will literally give you the exact location. We have that.
Well, why not do it in front of everyone? Why not do it right there and then?
Because of security reasons and things like that. This is being nationally televised. I assume it's probably so
people don't fucking storm Area 51.
Whatever it is, right? Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, there's a secret base that no one knows about in the middle of Colorado underground. That's where it's at. Yeah, you can't say that. And so basically that's what's been kind of happening. And then with regards to, the UAPs, the info was given to him that basically there's a long track record of basically of evidence showing that there is a multi-decade unidentified aerial phenomenon crash and retrieval reverse engineering program that's been hidden. And so what's crazy interesting about that is that if anyone remembers Bob Lazar, that's exactly what he was saying he was doing.
It's so funny you said that, because my first thought was like, don't we owe that other dude an apology? Like, Didn't he get like defaced after he came out?
Oh, dude, they tried to erase his whole shit. Like it's crazy, bro.
So we owe him a huge apology. Like,
basically, yeah. Anyone who like wrote him off and said he was being crazy, what he's saying is falling exactly in line with this guy who's like the most official person to be whistleblowing on any of this shit. Like that. But think about it like this, and I heard this guy say it in his News Nation interview. But he's like, think about it. It only makes sense. Like, okay, let's say aliens are real and these UFOs are indeed crashing. It makes complete sense that there would be like this information and technology Cold War in the background where when the USA finds a craft, they don't want China and Russia knowing about that. Like, because we're trying to reverse engineer this shit immediately. Yeah. And if China finds one, they're like, nah, fuck that. We're taking this, bro. Like, this is lit as fuck.
It's
we
just
don't want
District 9.
Yeah,
District 9 in real life.
Exactly right. And so when you think about it like that and considering what lengths governments will go to, especially on the defense side, especially on the military side of what they're willing to create in secrecy, Manhattan Project, atomic bombs, like Oppenheimer just came out, like MK Ultra, like, dude, like, don't doubt the government. Like, the government is willing to go to a place where that whatever it takes to take the edge over everyone else.
So the Barbie movie was made as a distraction to stop us from.
That's interesting.
I'm just saying.
Like, I did, because you can never really doubt how
Mattel is in bed with the aliens.
Maybe if you follow the Mattel tree, you see Mattel's owned by them, owned by
the Anunnaki.
The Anunnaki.
Yeah, the Anunnaki own Mattel.
Anunnaki invented Barbies, bro. They knew it. But what I found also interesting as well is that he also said that multiple of his colleagues have been injured by the UAPs and by the individuals piloting them. And they're completely disturbing stories that he was not willing to tell in front of everybody. But when the Congress guy asked him, are they getting violent? He's like, yeah.
Whoa, hold on. Homie said, we recover these crashes, and I have physically fought with aliens?
Not him. Multiple colleagues have directly experienced these situations.
I mean,
because he's the lead. He's the lead guy. He's the guy who's been given all access to this information. Now he's like, no. We gotta. Everyone, I'm calling investigation. I have the people here. I have the people. Let's do. Look,
I don't want to make light of this. I really don't want to make light of this. But if we can get Zuckerberg and Elon Musk in the ring, I want 12 with this fucking alien.
Yeah, right. Ooh.
Like, if you're putting hands on my boy, I don't care what planet you're from. You know what I mean?
Oh my god, dude!
I want the smoke. Unless these aliens are way.
I wonder what their builds are like. Are they like?
I was about to say.
They probably have like telekinesis or some bullshit like that, where they just look at you
just
and
OP.
just fucking shoot a fake traumatic memory into your brain. And you just
they erase my memories like Ghost in the Shell. They erase my memories on contact. As soon as they make contact,
boom!
I have the most traumatic experience. My whole life was in chains and just,
that would be a crazy superpower.
So how far are we, if you, just based on what this guy says, right? I don't know how long this process takes. How far are we from them being like, okay, so obviously what this committee did and what Congress has done is totally against constitutional law.
Well, not Congress. Congress didn't do anything. It's the military.
Oh, the military. Okay. Mm-hmm. So how long till Congress says, whoa, what the military has been doing is totally not okay. This information needs to be accessible. And they're just like, okay, here it is. Do you think that should happen?
That's what's incredibly interesting about this is that we're in like new territory now. Like this has never happened. So now that this has happened, what happens next? We have to just sit back and watch, right? Like, the question is this all a psyop? Right? Is this all a psyop? Is this all, what do they call it? Where you controlled opposition, right? Like, is it that? Is it like because that's
a false flag or something?
Exactly. Like, what if this guy is the plant? Like, you know what I mean? Like the perfect guy to be the plant. Like, so my mind says it like this. It is impossible to really know where this is going to go just because before this guy came through, I would have if you would have told me that man of that position, right? Like lifelong intelligence guy, top of his class, like he was the leader of multiple age, like that guy, like the guy who literally has access to all this kind of shit, that he was going to come and testify in front of Congress. If you haven't seen the interview, go watch it. It's actually very captivating. He's a good speaker. And the people, when they ask him questions, you can tell they have they don't really know how to process this either, because it's just so ridiculous. They're like, we have the alien crafts? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do. Oh.
So without getting like too philosophical here, doesn't this essentially undermine like sort of the entire fabric of traditional Western religion?
Ooh. Debating how I want to answer this, because I have a flaming hot take, and then I have like a more.
I mean, you are on record. If you guys listen to our Worst Ways to Die, you are on record saying that like getting stoned is worse than getting crucified. So don't act like you care now. Like, let's hear it, bro.
Okay. I'll do this in the most polite version, and as I become more comfortable talking about this topic. Okay. Because the thing is this: I'm not trying to offend anybody, and I'm not trying to act I'm on any high horse here.
And if you don't want to, you don't have to. That's my first question.
No, totally. Because there's some people who really have a deep faith in like Western religion, God, Jesus Christ, whoever it is, and if that provides you a level of happiness and fulfillment, like, dude, fuck yeah, go do that. Pray to whatever God you need to. I don't really care. But what I do care about is reality. And I think it's something that is very important to be discussed, is that where does Western religion come from? Right? Like, where does it even come from? It really kind of comes from the dominance of the Roman Empire. Now, it doesn't stem from the Roman Empire, but if we go back to the spread of Catholicism, Christianity, it was like during really like the Roman Empire's time, when they were kind of controlling all of Europe. And the Vatican absolutely controlled everything for hundreds of years. And those were called the Dark Ages, by the way, where if you try to look into anything yourself, any science experiments that were not approved by the Vatican, bro, you're getting smoked.
Straight to jail.
Yeah, straight to jail, if not killed right now in the street with one of those ways to die on the death tier list. That's all those ways to die on the death tier list that were Rome. That's fucking that time period, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty nutty. And this is a very complex topic, so I'm going to be general here, so give me a little grace. But with that being said, I think that what Western religion is today is more so like the culmination of like them like learning how to control people and how to control how they think, and like giving them a way to live so that they could build like society around these rules and kind of unite and galvanize people to like just make society work. But I don't think a lot of what that is actually truth. I don't believe in a lot of the things that these religions say is like truth and reality and how things need to be. I think now I do think Western religion, Christianity, Catholicism, things like that, I think they're based in things that might have happened and things that could have been true. But like to act like the King James Bible, which has been translated God knows how many times, is exactly accurate in the Word of God, and considering that the Bible is just a culmination of a bunch of books that were hand-selected by a group of people, and there are literally other books like the Book of Enoch and the Book of Esther that were literally not chosen to be in the Bible but could have been chosen. And so then it's like bringing up this idea that people actually had a say in what God's Word was, and they actually like got to hand-pick what stories of God they wanted to put in there, and to act like they probably, it's like, I know I'm going on a rant here, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's messy. Like, it's fucking super messy.
But let's bring it back here, because we are essentially like, let's say everything this guy is saying is real, right? Hypothetically. Mm-hmm. Knowing that there is literally life on another planet, and they have been here and they are here, and who knows, maybe of the 5 ships that have crashed, maybe they're all from 5 different species of alien.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what does that do for us as humans, and especially the humans that believe that, you know, we're it? Like, this is it. We're God's creation. This is
about
just
time
a
you
test.
wake up. Yeah, that's all I'll say. You got to wake up. And that's okay. It's like, you know, like I can't really empathize as well, because I was never indoctrinated into any religion. Luckily, my parents, they were Christian, but it was never forced upon me. And so I thought I was Christian most of my life, and then I kind of came to my own conclusions, and I thought I was an atheist for a while. And then after being an atheist, I actually realized that I'm actually agnostic. So anyone out there wants to know my personal beliefs, I definitely believe in a higher power. Do not get it twisted for a second. But I do not believe in any mainstream organized religion's exact rulings of the word of God. Like, I think there could be truth in it, but I do not take it as law. And so I would say, not saying you need to be like me, but, you know, aliens come. Where does that fit into your God storybook? It's not there.
Yeah, I guess us discussing it is not really going to answer my question, because
it's like, it's just not there, bruh. And the thing is, if anyone wants to know what I really think too, is like, dude, I would say this: look into Zoroastrianism, look into the ancient Anunnaki, the ancient Sumerian texts, look into that kind of stuff, and then come back to me and tell me what you kind of think is going on. It's very complex, a lot of information to look into, but it's interesting.
If the Bible had pictures, would it be higher or lower selling than One Piece? Because One Piece is the highest selling graphic novel of all time.
Exactly. One Piece is the highest selling graphic novel of all time by a single author.
And the only reason I think the Bible isn't included in that list,
it actually would outsell it, because it has a single author. The Bible doesn't have a single author.
You heard it here first. Aliens.
The Bible. One Piece. The Bible.
Oh, we're done, dude. We're canceled.
We're done,
Time
dude.
To
oh my
show.
God. To all my friends out
show.
there that believe in God and Christianity, this is not a diss. It's not a diss. But if you have more to say and more you want to bring to this discussion, there's a place where we can handle it, where we can take off the fucking gloves. It's called the Sage Cage.
Yes,
no one
baby.
can get offended in there. It's not
Shameless
allowed.
plug, baby.
You're not allowed to get offended in the Sage Cage.
We have a Sage Cage for this week.
Yes, we do. We do.
Okay. Before we get into that, I'd want to say this here, and this is not to cover my own ass. This is because I think this is very important about what makes our podcast amazing and what makes our friendship amazing, is that I don't even know if I agree or disagree with anything that you said, right? I love making jokes and I love making fun about, the Bible and One Piece and stuff like that, but I would absolutely love to hear from someone who is like an alien denier and is is like a devoutly religious person, whatever religion it is. I genuinely would love to hear, because I've never even thought of this before. I would love to hear how aliens would fit into the equation, right? If we don't, because most religion is anti-evolution, right?
Yeah,
So
if you're a fundamentalist, because there's some people that's another thing. So there's people that believe in the same book, and then some people are fundamentalists, where they believe like in the literal word of God, and there's other people that are like, oh no, evolution's real. It's just kind of like inferred in the Bible. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Before we insult every religion, I want to say this. Yeah, before we just insult everybody out there, which I'm totally fine with, I just want everyone to know that when we do this, it's out of actual genuine curiosity. Like, I really do want to hear from someone.
Oh, for sure. And it's like, it's not, and this definitely doesn't come up from a place of superiority. I could talk to anybody who thinks differently than me on any topic, and I would be willing to try and understand them, because there's a great method in having hard conversations with people, where this is what you do in the beginning. We're not allowed to move on from the conversation until I am able to reiterate your point to you, and you say, that's exactly what I mean, and then you can do the same for me. So, that's how I'm going to come about this. I'm never going to come off pompous, I know more than you, arrogant. I would never do that. But I will hit you with some hard-hitting questions that might make you feel uncomfortable, like you might make me feel uncomfortable on some of my views. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's okay. That's how we grow. Discourse is how we evolve mentally as a society. So let's have it.
I mean, it would be incredible if we got someone on here and then we both end up getting baptized because we just got...
Wouldn't that be a great character arc? Oh my God.
Especially for being this deep in life, right? Like, there's always late in life born, again, Christians and stuff like that, but... Mm-hmm. To just have the beliefs that I have and to just be completely, 720'd, and that would be amazing.
Amazing. It would be nuts.
Let me do this. So let me cue up the Sage Cage theme song. let me bring us in here. And let's get it popping, baby. This is my fucking favorite
All
part
right,
of the show.
you're going first in the stage cage, okay?
Yeah,
You're going first. I want you to give it to this girl. So this is what she's going through.
Okay, hold on. Let me cue.
You are now entering the Sage Cage.
We're in here, baby. For those of you that aren't familiar, didn't watch the last episode, we're mad at you. Also, this is how this works, okay? Anything that was before that incredible intro, those people are no longer here, okay? Mm-hmm. Whatever happens in here, whatever's said in here, whatever's done in here, it's not my fault. It is what it is, okay? This is the Sage Cage. If you want to be on the Sage Cage, and this is real, we've had a lot of people hitting us up about submitting stuff. DM us, email us, comment. You can literally comment on the videos if you don't mind being, whatever the opposite of anonymous is. Get those questions on the Sage Cage because we are out here fixing lives, okay? Fixing lives live.
That's exactly right. And like I said earlier, no one's allowed to get fucking offended in the Sage Cage, okay? We're just telling you, I'm trying to talk to you like I would talk to anyone else I truly care about. You know?
Yeah. And this isn't like some red pill anti-woke, like, oh, don't get offended. No, this is genuinely like, we're just going to kick it to you straight. This is
exactly. Yeah, because a lot of people in your life, they don't give it to you straight. And it's because they like you and they don't want to hurt your feelings.
Yeah,
but
whereas
sometimes you need the little crushed feelings here and there. So this is the story that we are bringing into the Sage Cage, and you're going to have the first go at this, okay? I recently left my boyfriend. He said he loved me, but I felt like a third wheel in our relationship. He had a female friend he was constantly borrowing money from. Even though we both work, he also gave her relationship advice. They would bicker back and forth like 2-year-olds, and when we went places, they made me ride in the back while they were having a conversation I was never a part of. He also cut me off every time I talked. When I asked him why, he said I talked about dumb things. Was I wrong for walking away?
Okay. Off the rip, aside from the borrowing money from this girl and this girl being a third wheel, anyone that cuts you off when you talk and says you talk about dumb things, don't fucking hang out with them.
Oh my God.
That is like like people that know me, and there's going to be people that I know are going to see this. That is my fucking biggest pet peeve, dude. Just like basic conversational courtesy, it just sends me through the roof. On top of that, if you are dating someone, and this is not just for this chick. This chick needs to hear this. You are not wrong for getting out of that. I don't care if this dude said he loved you. I don't care if this dude bought you a ring. I don't care if he proposed to you. I don't even care if you're carrying his child. Anyone that treats you like this, move on. You're better for moving on. Also, if you feel like you have to question it, now of course, men can have female friends. Women can have male friends. No relationship is black and white. If you've known someone 20 years or you grew up with them or whatever it is, there's always going to be exceptions to the rule. However, if my wife introduced me to a male friend and we were getting in the car to go somewhere and she said, hey, P, take that back. Divorce.
You literally would divorce Lena immediately too.
Yeah.
Lena, I know you'll listen to this. For real though, you're gonna be laughing listening to this right now because you know how true that is. Can you imagine? Oh my God, that
done.
That could be one of the worst things you could do to Preston secretly.
There's so many levels to it. One, the fact that I'm 6'5" and you're telling me to go to the back seat, I don't care who you are.
True.
Two, homie, this is my car. What are we talking about here? This is my wife. This is my car. This is my life. So yes, long story long. That you are 100% right, and I'm so sorry that you're hurting and you still think about this guy and you feel icky enough to write about it because you shouldn't. Move on. This dude sucks. Good luck with this chick that he's buying or borrowing money from. See you never. Good on you for ending it, and I hope you move on expeditiously.
I double down and agree with every single word that comes out of your mouth. It's just like you said. Can you imagine your significant other cutting you off in a conversation and saying you say dumb things, like regardless of the context, that is like the reddest. It's like beyond a red flag. Like if anyone that was intimate with me that I trusted dared to say that to me, dude, I'm fucking petty like that, in the sense of like, you're done. Like, I will never be able to like you the same way for the rest of my life.
If someone said to me, yo, bro, like, you say dumb things a lot, I'd be like, that's the last thing I ever say to you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take my dumb things elsewhere. And that's not even being petty. That's just like, don't have people like that in your life, man.
True.
Intimate friendships, whatever the relationship is, if anyone ever is just like, nah, that you saying dumb things, peace.
Oh, absolutely.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
Something I want to bring light to, though, and I think this can be a very, very empowering idea for people that have ever felt like they were the victim in a situation. So, this girl, yes, this is all true. What me and Preston said is all true. But at the same time, though, you hold some responsibility for being in this situation in the first place. Because someone who's that much of a prick and a clown, that's not the only time they're a prick and a clown to you. Like, there's no way. This guy sucks all the time. I guarantee it. There's, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no one that will do that to you and doesn't suck everywhere else. So how did you even get into a relationship with this motherfucker? How were you okay with it the first time you found out he was close friends with this girl? You were okay with it then? Maybe you do say some dumb things, honestly. Like, maybe he might be right to a certain extent. Maybe you are just fucking, you're kind of weird too, right? Like, you know, and I say that with love, where you should be like, it takes two to tango. Like,
For sure.
You can be a victim, but you can also be like the hero of your own story too, and try and like yeah, I definitely got fucked, right? This person did some things to me that were fucked up, and that was wrong of them, no question. But what could have I done to avoid the situation? Got to get out of it sooner, had less pain, because that you need to think about these things to grow into your next relationship.
For sure. And I agree with you 100% of the looking inward thing, but I think that this is such a black and white, like, it literally doesn't matter what you've done up until that point. If anyone says, you just say dumb things and I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I mean,
gone. Like, it's like nothing else matters. Like, it's, yes, you should always be looking inward. I think that's a principle that you should apply to every relationship or every day of your life. But anyone that says shit like that, move on. Move on. You're not going to learn anything good from them.
And that brings up another point that I remember hearing from I forget who, but they talked about one thing you should never do to someone you actually like, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship, is never, ever, ever humiliate them publicly. That is like, it's traumatic, bro. Like, it is traumatic. It's a big deal. Like, if you humiliate someone publicly, it's kind of like betrayal. It's like,
it's for sure.
And I forget who said it as well, but they were saying, like, you actually, like, the studies show you actually just don't come back from betrayal. Like, once someone betrays the other person in a relationship, it's kind of just, it's never going to be the same now.
I think there's a certain level, right?
There's different degrees of betrayal.
And certain degrees of embarrassment, right? Like,
yes.
You know,
humiliate is different than embarrassment, right?
Exactly. Like, when Lena and I first got married, I remember we had, like, an argument, and I'm human, right? I remember telling my mom about it, and it was just something I shouldn't have told. I shouldn't have involved anybody in it, right? And I remember that, you know, my wife feeling sort of embarrassed, like, oh, you aired our dirty laundry. And it's even now, sometimes I think back and I'm like, oh man, I hope that, like, you know, I hope that's fully recovered from. You know what I mean? Like, I hope that that's, like, fully in the past. I do think that you can always grow and you can always learn from, like, you know, mistakes you've made. But, like, yeah, once you, like, cheat or once you, like, put your hands on somebody, like, it's never the same. Like,
no,
there's no, the jury's out, or the results are in. Once you cross that line, it's never the same. I don't care how much you try. I don't care how many years you guys have. I don't care how many kids you have. I don't care what's going on. It just will never be the same. Like, the science says so.
Yeah, especially with a romantic relationship as well. Once it becomes abusive mentally, physically, or verbally, you have to get out. And that's why typically people who are healthy, they'll get like a toxic response in a relationship and they won't stand for it and they'll leave. But people that are also dealing with their own shit and their own trauma, they'll like confuse what love is. And so maybe because their parent abused them, they get kind of confused where they think like, oh, well, if he fucking is up my ass and mentally and verbally abuses me all day, that means he cares about me, right?
Yeah.
Like, and they don't know, they put the puzzle together wrong. And they can end up staying in a toxic relationship for much longer than they should. And it's a tragedy that happens all the time.
I hope those that are listening too, and this is, some real shit. I'm going to speak for both of us here. When we enter the sage cage and we talk about these things and it's so black and white, it's so simple, just leave his ass. Like, we know real life is not that easy, and I'm nowhere near perfect, or not even close. Like, I know that.
Oh my God, yeah, me neither.
Just the work that it is to be my wife is probably, Lena deserves a raise for sure. I am excited for, and I hope that the more and more we get content out there, and the more and more that you guys respond and make me, for personally, just feeling more comfortable sharing things, I'm excited to even share more. And because that's always been my biggest flaw, I guess, is just an open book. Like, you and I met, and I feel like within a month you're just like, whoa, I did not need to hear all that. I just tend to overshare. So I'm excited for just the wall to come completely down and be more open and just whatever, share with everybody. That's what I'm here for.
For sure. No, I'm with you there. And yeah, like you said, to double down, we're not perfect at all, right? And I think that's the most beautiful thing about every single one of us, is that we're not perfect. And we all have things that we inherently deal with in a really healthy, positive way. And then we have things that we deal with in negative ways. And that just makes us more robust, more complex and intricate human beings that get to interact with each other. So, this definitely comes from a place of love, actually. And I've realized really recently more than ever is that we live in a society where we lack accountability. And we lack accountability in the sense of confrontation is things that everyone kind of likes to avoid for the most part. People are, for the most part, very unconfrontational, whether it's problems with their friends, problems with their family, whatever. They tend to push it under the rug and deal with things that are actually not okay, right? We probably can think of people right now that are going through these situations. And so through this podcast, one of my goals is to kind of echo a voice of accountability through the sage cage, and where it gives us an unfiltered approach to say what needs to be said, because I have your best interest in mind. I'm not saying this to make fun of you and fucking roast you.
100%. When I'm saying you shouldn't be putting up with this, what the hell are you doing? It's not you're dumb. It's that you deserve the best. Genuinely, you deserve more than sitting in the backseat of your car with this dude that is telling that you think he loves you, talking to some chick and telling you, being told that you say dumb things. It's actually out of love. So when I tell you to get your shit together and stop allowing this to go on around you, it's actually because I want success, and I want happiness, and I want love for you.
Exactly.
It just comes off kind of harsh.
Yeah. But it's sometimes there's no other way to say it, because fuck, man, hopefully, especially if you come to us and you want to put your problems in the cage, then I know you know what you signed yourself up for. So it's
for sure.
It's
I have had a couple people. If you're hearing this, which I hope you are, please don't be afraid. If we totally respect anonymity, so if you send it to us and you want it to be anonymous and you just want to hear our reaction, please do that. If you want to send it in and us say who you are, if you want to come on the show, let us know. Obviously, we can't let everybody on here, but let's make it happen.
Yeah, exactly. You get some free bootleg therapy. It's not real therapy, but it's it's that LimeWire therapy you can download off the internet.
This therapy comes with a virus, for sure.
Yes.
But you know what's funny is that is actually, and this might sound corny, but that is actually who I am in real life. Anyone, if you survey 10 people that know me, they'll be like, oh yeah, Preston's the first one to be cut the shit right now. I just get to the point, let's move on. You know what I mean?
No, you totally are. That I think for me, if someone said, what are the what are the most attractive things about Preston as a friend? Your assertiveness and your willingness to have confrontation. Oh my God, bro. It's so nice to be around because like I just don't have many people in my life that are like that. You know what I mean? And so you sometimes get that dead demon in your eye too, or you go a little like I wouldn't say you go too far,
for sure.
but you start to look for smoke. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's okay. We can water the. I feel like I can manage that. You know what I mean? So
dude, 100%.
it's cool. I love that about you, and for me too. Like I feel like for people that are close to me, it's like don't say something dumb around me because I'm gonna ask you about it, and I might be willing to fucking just. Talk about it here and now. Like, you know what I mean?
Dude, do you know how many family or friend events we walk into and, you know, my wife has to prep me like, okay, look, this is what they think. This is what they're probably going to say. Just, you don't need to test them until the fucking cows come home, okay?
Yeah.
Because this is like my favorite thing to do. It's not even that I'm disagreeing with you. I just want to see it in your eyes that you believe it. Like, I want to see that when you say something to me, that if you had a gun to your head, you would hold on to it. That's all I want.
No, you're right. Because even when people disagree with me, if they can look me in the face and talk about their point of view and say it from a place of conviction and like I can tell that they're in their truth, I'm like, cool. Oh, okay. Well, actually, I'm like open to talking more about this.
Exactly.
Like I respect you now. Like. Where if you talk out of your ass, ooh, I want to kill you on sight.
I can be persuaded, but you have to believe it. Like you have to know it, even if it's wrong. You have to know it and you have to believe it in your heart, and then I'm ready. But if I feel like you don't really believe it or you don't really think
you're just repeating something someone else said.
Exactly.
That's not allowed, bro. On either side of the coin, whether you're the most woke blue-haired leftist or the most red pill, ridiculous conservative person, that's not allowed. If you want to have these crazy opinions, you got to be able to stand on two legs with them and really be able to own it in a discussion.
Exactly. So
for real.
Yeah. So I think that this episode has probably been the biggest roller coaster.
Oh my God! From
like
the
this
different
has been
things
all over the place.
What we might want to do in our beginning of our episodes too is maybe because at the end of the episode we know what we talked about. We might want to be like, hey, we talk about fucking pickleball, UFOs, NPC streams, and fucking
essentially
life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Whatever.
Yeah.
Because this is like a roller coaster, and I feel like people might be more inclined to listen longer if you maybe knew what you were getting yourself into from the beginning. Because this one was a crazy one.
Yeah, and let us know too, like if you like the Sage Cage. I mean, we've gotten good feedback so far, but I would love to hear if you guys like the Sage Cage or
for real. Because the idea is like to make this like a new, like a 2023 new age like call-in radio therapist. Like,
it's like Loveline.
Yeah, exactly. That's the idea. But we can go into the Sage Cage and we can go in there, give you advice. We can have debates. We can do whatever. Like the idea is to create a safe place to just take off the gloves and just go at it, with our thoughts.
So, dude, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the likes, the comments. Sebi, as always, bro, I fucking love talking to you, man. And
likewise, brother.
I'll see you, and I'll see all of you next week.
Bye.